Can we get this dump truck on the road again? If you're following along, you know the maiden voyage didn't go good and we ended up on the side of the road. We know we have a fuel issue on the low pressure side, and that is what we're gonna fix today with our upgraded lift pump and wiring and the whole kit and caboodle. I have returned with hardware that's gonna make this work. And between all these hodgepodges and fittings and all that, I think we can make this work. We got all the lights out here. Hopefully nighttime won't stop us and we can get this thing running. Let's start off shopping in our toolbox here to get what we need for the night. We're going to be optimistic, say we're getting the wiring. You need our multimeter, wiring tool number 2. Long reach ratchet will probably make things a lot easier. Definitely another work light. Probably going to need to break something free that's rusty. And probably have to hammer something. As you see, I'm trying really hard not to have to make a bunch of trips inside and out of here. Let's finish off where we started when the rainstorm happened, which was getting these terminals on here. All I really need to do is heat shrink them when they're done. All right, we're off to a good start. If you're thinking about switching from a heat gun to a torch, 100% do it. Doesn't have to be snap-on, but well worth it. I should have done it sooner, especially when you're kind of working out in the field-ish like this. If you watched the last video, you know we drilled the 3 beloved holes here. What a beautiful time through this frame. We already Loctited the holes on the pump. I need 2 hands. I'm going to assemble this. Last bolt headed in. Just like that, we have one mounted sturdy lift pump. Next up, it's time to start running our fuel line, which is 1/2-inch rubber line. We will use the quick disconnects the kit came with, which are a straight and a 90. First, this guy going in the hose. We're going to start with our suction side, so let's route this nicely. From the pump down the frame, along there, and this is where we'll tee into the other tank. Add a nice little cut to that line. Add a couple clamps on there, slide them back, and we got a nice brass tee we're going to slip in here. If you don't have a pair of these guys for cutting hose, my goodness, you're missing out. It makes like factory cuts. That amount of clamps doesn't look too pretty, but basically we're sucking from passenger tank, driver tank, both equally into the lift pump. Now let's run it up to the engine. For that, we're going to choose this 90. Pressed into place. I didn't think about it, but I sure hope this is long enough to get to the front of the engine. A loop-de-doo, and now these are both headed up to the engine bay. Here's our new line we just brought up here. The new old line is going to be this guy right here. We're going to take that off. That went to the old lift pump. Out with that old line. I'll keep this so it's literally just a week old hose. No sense splicing 2 pieces together though if we don't have to. Next step is getting rid of the old lift pump. So let's pull the lines off the top and bottom of the pump. That way the pump is free after a couple bolts. Let me tell you, the access on this is just grand. With our inlet line now off of the filter housing, let's see if we can finagle our ratchet down in here to get this lift pump out. Okay, we're on it. Let's see if we can neutral drop it. Not one-handed. Let me try 2 hands. Aha! I got you, you son of a gun. I have primed you more times than I can even count. I pulled this fitting out because they say there's a screen down here. I'm curious if it is plugged. Oh yeah, that definitely was not helping our case. That makes me feel better. This thing's going to run a lot better now. You might be thinking, Mark, what are we going to do with this hole in the side of our block? Oh, would you guess what? We got ourselves a blocker plate for that area. Honestly, this is some of the stuff I was most excited about with this truck because I'm able to bring in the light-duty performance world into this because it's a 12-valve. Got a nice high-end lift pump. Got this nice plate here, rubber O-ring on the back. I'm actually going to reuse our factory bolts. I don't feel like fighting an Allen back there and maybe stripping it, so this will be what we're going to go with. With that tightened up, we are good to go. The sad part is this 3/8 line that goes into the filter housing, I cannot get a 1/2 inch up in there. I can't redo the filter housing. Cleanest way I can think to do it is to use this splice, which is 1/2 inch on this side, 3/8 on that side. That'll join these 2 lines together cleanly. From the filter housing, spliced 3/8 to 1/2, and then back to the back of the truck. Fuel plumbing is 100% done. Well, not quite, I guess. We don't have our tank in yet. Last thing before we put the tank in, let's do our wiring harness. Pretty straightforward. We have the pump plug, a bunch of loom, and then we have a positive and negative inline fuse to protect it. And basically they want you to fuse tap somewhere and just ground anywhere. We can either come into the truck right there at the fuse panel for a fuse tap, or we can find a wire at the engine bay for a power source with the key on. Got a grommet with something that doesn't go to anything, which is going to be that. Looks like it is throttle lock that no longer does anything. This thing, I wish I knew what it did. I have no clue what that is. Maybe we can figure that out a different day. Stealing power off of that fuse into here, and what? comes out to this hose. Continuing down the truck, it's this guy still. I think it ends up back here somewhere. To here, to here. What the heck? This must go to the front of the truck? Aha, it is that wire between the cab, that white wire you're looking at there. I bet there used to be, or maybe planned to be, strobes up there or something, I don't know. But nonetheless, disregarded from what we're doing. Grab our multimeter and see if we can find a key on hot fuse. Key in the run position, lift pump's on. Key in the off position, lift pump off. I just found this guy right here, that's our one. They gave us this flat blade to slip into that fuse spot. However, I hate bare wires. Let's go grab some loom and shut this off. Looks a lot. Do the same with this guy. Thinking right up here is going to be a good ground. And we're grounded. This would be the fuse if we ever needed to check why the lift pump wasn't working. Let's run this to the back of the truck, the rest of the harness. Down the frame with existing loom. Can't forget this part. I had literally just enough. That is the exact amount of wiring harness I had. Unfortunately, though, it is very late, and I think that is going to have to be a wrap for where we end up on this project for tonight.